Please allow
Perhaps
me
the Czech
now
will compensate for that.
to tell Mr. Federer, sir. Mr. Federer is a gentleman on the tennis court and is a gentleman of the court. And please stay like that. I have more than 50 years in this sport. As a player, I play most of all of them. I play even Mr. Santana, that is still alive here next to me. I have another friend there, that is Mr. Pietrangeli, so many Grand Slam winner. I play against Lever, I saw Sampras. And in my book, Mr. Federer, you are the best techniker of all times. I congratulate you. I would like to finish.
What about Jan Tyriak's remark just now that he congratulated Roger Federer and said that against all the people he knew from his 50 years in tennis, including the ones he played against, like Lever, like Santana, like Pietrangeli, that technically he, Federer, was the best of all?
Well, that was the key word, wasn't it? Technically. He didn't say he was the greatest player of all time. He said technically he thought he was the most complete player. I probably tend to agree with him, but there's a lot of tennis still to be played for him to be thought of as the greatest player of all time. He has to win the French Open for one, and of course I think that will be high on his agenda next year.
And I would agree with that. Like Tyriak, I have been fortunate enough to have been around since the Second World War. I've seen every Wimbledon since then. I've seen all the great champions, and I would agree that technically he is the equal or better than all of them who have gone before. But we must also remember that this is a different game they play now with different rackets, and to compare the wooden racket era with that of today's space age material rackets is very difficult and probably unfair to make comparisons. It's apples and oranges really, but certainly of this era there is no question. Of the modern racket era, he is unquestionably the best player. Whether he will become the greatest player of all time remains to be seen, and I agree with you, he has to win the French and perhaps a few more Grand Slams. Federer hasn't yet got to the total that Sampras has managed with 13, so you know there are one or two titles still to be won.